holy shit, that's a werewolf.
Oh my God.
And she starts screaming, look, there it is. I look over to my left and walking, not running, you guys, on the sidewalk is what I can only describe as a werewolf.
What the fuck?
Hey.
This is Two Girls, One Ghost.
Two girls, one ghost. We are your ghostesses. That is Corinne.
Hello.
I'm Sabrina. And we have to introduce you to someone today. Who we're both a little bit, I wish I had Daniel here with me today.
I know.
Daniel.
Of course, the day that you forget Daniel.
Well, I also did get some things at the Salem Flea Market that I need to do a live stream of. So we can include this guy here. He does not have a name, and I'm not going to give him one because
maybe
he might have one.
Has one, yeah.
But this is from our listener, Winona.
This is so classic because like Greg and Dina did say when people send you haunted items, it's usually a clown.
Oh, wait. The cat's name is Winona.
Oh.
This is from, well, maybe Winona listens. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe Winona inspired this.
But this is from my listener, Kenzie. And so Kenzie wrote, I found this terrifying clown while thrifting, and naturally I felt like he needed to live in your studio. My husband was with me on this thrift mission, and he agreed my ghost girls, as he calls you, needed him. When I bought him, the employee laughed and said, just don't bring this thing back.
Well, so we have some incense going. We're cleansing the space around this clown. If there's anybody or anything attached, we'll find out sometime. In the interim, we are like suffocating on some fumes
We're really
right now.
Puffing and puffing.
Yeah, I should crack a window. I think you're supposed to.
It kind of smells nice. I like it.
It does, but it's pretty strong.
And Kenzie did also send us some sage
Incredible.
and Palo Santo.
Yeah. I think it's out of frame because a lot of our recording is out of frame because we sit so low on the bookshelf.
Yeah.
But up here, we have a giant glass jar of every single time someone sends us any cleansing item, we put it up there. We've got a whole jar of crystals and a whole jar of various
cleansing properties.
Yeah.
But so the clown is going to sit with us today as we tell ghost stories next to the Talk to Me hand. And we'll do a little paranormal investigation with the clown and the findings that I found.
The findings that you found.
At the flea market. Also, someone sent us this coin, a decision coin, that the one side says, hell yes. The other one says, fuck no. And I feel like if we're ever indecisive about something, we should flip it.
Yeah. That's a great idea. So we have to keep it there.
Yeah. But yeah, this is an Encounters episode brought to you by Incense and Clown.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go first.
Perfect.
Okay, wait. So this one I'm going to start with is not actually a ghost story, but it is from our listener, Ellen, who sent an email and was like, my brother was your ghost tour guide in Savannah.
No way. How did he figure it out? Oh, because you talked to him.
Well, Ellen is our listener. I'll read the email.
But he knew that you were, because you told him about Two Girls, One Ghost?
But totally disconnected.
Okay.
Ellen realized it by listening to our episode.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Hi, ladies. Oh my God, this is wild. So I was just minding my own business, binge listening to episodes of your podcast to catch up. And my ears perk up when Sabrina starts talking about her trip to Savannah. My brother, Andre, has lived there for years and gives haunted tours as a fun side hustle. At the first mention of Bigfoot, I start texting him. See the attached screenshot for the progression of my realization that you were talking about him. So like she literally was just texting him about Bigfoot and then starts to realize, holy shit.
Crazy.
Anyway, I live in Gainesville, Florida, and I'm very familiar with the area that he saw Bigfoot because I was telling the story about Andre finding Bigfoot or seeing Bigfoot in Gainesville, Florida.
Okay, well then it's clear. It's like, oh shit, that's definitely
putting it
my
together.
Brother.
I'm a high school English teacher with my own obsession of cryptids, and my classroom is actually cryptid themed, which we need to see photos. And I was inspired by a Bigfoot museum that I visited near the Blue Ridge Mountains in Georgia, and I fashioned my classroom like that museum.
No way.
How cool. Anyway.
Also, wait, sorry. Such a quick side pivot. But when I went to Saratoga Springs over Christmas, I drove through the area that you'd already driven to because you drove it from New Jersey up to Vermont for my wedding. But I was driving Vermont down to New Jersey for Hanukkah after Christmas. And I drove through Whitehall, New York, which is where they do the Bigfoot calling contest.
Oh my gosh.
And they had a Bigfoot museum there, like a very
Did you
tiny.
go to it or just drive past it?
No, we drove past it. I was like, ah! And I like went to grab my phone to try to snap a picture. And of course, we were like, all right.
Is it kind of like on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere and it has a Bigfoot outside?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I stopped and took a picture of it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ellen says, anyway, if you're ever in North Florida and need a guide, I'd be happy to show you around. Devil's Mill Hopper is actually a state park with a massive sinkhole. And the scenic road it's on is where Andre was driving when he spotted Bigfoot. It's
wild to me that sinkholes just like exist and people don't fill them back in. It just is still there.
Sinkholes are scary.
Yeah.
And then how deep do they go? It's kind of like quarries. But okay, so Ellen is texting Andre and she goes, did you mention Bigfoot and Devil's Mill Hopper on a ghost tour? Do you work? This is like separate text. We can add this into the, do you work for Creepy Crawl Haunted Pub Tour? My favorite podcasters are talking about a ghost tour they took in Savannah and I think they're describing you. Oh my God. And then it's like the episodes, minute 7 or 8. Oh my fucking God, they're telling your Bigfoot story. I hate you. This is literally my favorite podcasters.
Oh my God. I like feel her upset.
Literally, because it's so many separate thoughts.
Oh my God, I hate you. This is literally it's such a like classic sibling or like friend thing to do. Like,
I know.
I like feel the jealousy too.
It's so funny. But small world. Hey, Ellen. Mm-hmm. I met your brother. Which
Isn't it so weird?
Basically means I've met you because I've been around your blood. I have. They share blood.
They do. Of sorts.
And I'm a vampire and I don't know.
And you drink it. She's tasted your brother, now she needs to taste you.
I must. How different is your blood? What blood type are you?
I am B positive.
I didn't know mine and my mom was like, you need to know your blood type. I'm A negative.
Isn't there something about negative blood type? What is it?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We're pessimists. It's in our blood. You can't blame me.
It's like you're a negative
person,
and mine is B positive. If that's not yin and yang, I don't know what it is.
I loved that so much. That wasn't really a ghost story. Do you want to read a ghost story first, or should I just jump into a ghost story?
Go ahead.
Okay. This is not necessarily a vampire, but I do have a ghost story about a werewolf.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Maybe in the history of our podcast, we might have had like 1 or 2 suspected werewolf emails.
And I like werewolves. Okay, so this is from our listener, Kristen. This is a werewolf story, the Rhode Island werewolf. Hi, ladies. I grew up and lived in Cranston, Rhode Island for over 25 years, and there's definitely, or was, a werewolf in that city.
Sick.
Let's go. We're heading to Cranston, Rhode Island.
I'm scared of werewolls. No thanks. That's a cryptid I'll stay away from.
You only have to worry about it on a full moon, though. That's the nice thing.
Is it, though?
Like other cryptids, they're unpredictable. Yeah. You don't know when they're going to show up.
But then what if you accidentally fall in love in that city with someone?
And they're a werewolf?
They're always busy on a full moon. You need to start writing down in a journal the days that your dates are unavailable and make sure that it doesn't align with every
the full moon. Or if that's what you're into, maybe you want that.
Yeah, that's true.
Be kind of cool. I'd turn into a werewolf for my one true love.
Oh, see, I wasn't thinking of the possibility of turning into one. I was thinking about them killing you.
Oh. How do you get turned into a werewolf? Is it
Great
similar
question.
to a vampire?
Didn't we do an episode on this?
I don't know.
I think we did years ago.
All right, to the story. So the side of Cranston I used to live in was heavily suburban with houses pretty much on top of each other. The only spaces of large amounts of open land were designated parks and baseball fields. We sometimes would see, I almost said afterlife, but wildlife. But the number of animals we saw larger than a skunk or a possum was pretty rare. I think I could count on 2 hands the number of times I saw a deer or fox in my neighborhood across all of those years, 25 years. The summer after we graduated high school, we were all freshly 18. We were in our staying out late for no reason era. And on this night, a few friends and I went to a movie. And then after the movie ended, we went to an older friend's apartment to hang out more. Also, I want to note that there were no drinking or drugs involved. I was getting pretty tired, so I decided I was going to head home before my best friend. And she ended up staying a bit longer. I was already home and in bed when I saw an incoming call from her. It's around 3 a.m. I pick up. And she's in complete hysterics, crying and screaming so hard I couldn't even understand what she was saying. In an absolute panic, I asked her what was going on, what happened, assuming maybe she got in a car accident. It's 3 a.m., it's late in the night. She kept on screaming and screaming that she hit a werewolf.
Holy shit.
Not an animal, hit a werewolf with her car, not a person, specifically a werewolf. She is in
that
hysterics.
was sending you into even more hysterics. Yep.
It's nighttime, and the whole incident happened so fast. So, of course, I didn't believe that she hit a werewolf. I assumed maybe it was a coyote or something that she didn't get a good look at.
Right. Like, oh, coyote with mange or something odd.
She didn't full on run this creature over. The creature darted in front of her car. She clipped it with the right front of her car, and the creature just ran off as fast as it came. And if there was any damage, it was extremely minor. I honestly can't remember, but I do remember her saying there was a lot of hair stuck in her car's right headlamp that she was pulling out. Ew, that image.
Also, save it. Like, jar that up. Send us some.
Oh, man, we should have been there. If only it was us.
If only it was us. And if
Actually,
only we knew people in the lab.
Well, with that TikTok microscope that you were telling me about in last episode.
We can examine it.
Yeah. I didn't think any of that was weird, and I assured her hopefully the animal isn't too hurt since it was able to run off, and I told her to just go home, try to calm down. Days after the incident, she was still so adamant that this was a werewolf she hit. She knew none of us believed her, but she didn't care. She knew what she saw. A few years went by, and we're all hanging out with a different group of friends when she brought up the story about the time she clipped a werewolf with her car. And one of the guys we were hanging out with, his eyes lit up, and he asks, "Did this happen in Cranston?"
What?
Because he had once seen a werewolf in Cranston. Here we go, I thought. Another reason for her to believe this was a werewolf and not a normal animal that she just didn't get a good look at. He claimed that he saw a werewolf while driving home late one night. The two of them were getting so hyped off of each other's stories and were so excited to hear that they were not the only ones to see this thing. And honestly, this guy was not the brightest bulb in the bunch, so I did not find his recollection of this creature to be credible. And he has said some other questionable things in the past that I did not believe. So again, none of us believed that this was a werewolf. And there was no reason really for us to continue to argue with them about it. So more years passed by. It's at least been 5 or 6 years since the initial time my friend clipped the creature with her car. Her and I are hanging out again late at night, just the two of us at my parents' house. And again, this is another night. There are no drugs or drinking involved. I don't remember what time it was exactly, but it was late and the town was quiet and dark. We were getting tired. We got in my car so I could drive her home. I was halfway to her house, rolling to a slow stop at a stop sign. And she starts screaming, "Look, there it is!" Not even knowing what she's talking about, I look over to my left and walking, not running, you guys, on the sidewalk is what I can only describe as a werewolf.
What the fuck? She sees it twice?
This creature was huge, much larger legs. They were huge and bent in such an odd way that I have never seen before, almost seemingly bent backwards. The whole thing was so unexpected and fast, I didn't have time to even think and try to pull my phone out for a picture. My only response was, "Holy shit, that's a werewolf."
Oh my God.
She was so excited that I had finally seen this thing, and I finally was able to believe her story that, yeah, in fact, years ago, my friend did clip a werewolf with her car.
Holy shit. I love how she's not even scared the second time because she's just so thrilled that someone else gets to be witness to the werewolf. There's no fear. It's like, look, the werewolf,
the
werewolf.
It's crazy.
Oh my God. I want to go here. Now I'll go.
You'll go to Cranston?
Should we go? Yes or no? Hell yes.
We're going to Cranston. Pack your bags. Neither of us still live in Cranston, so we haven't seen the Cranston werewolf since that night. Honestly, we're now at the age where there better be a good reason for me to be up and about past midnight, so the chances of me being out late enough to see the werewolf again are low. I have no idea of the 2 dates of these instances, so unfortunately, I can't look up if it was a full moon or not. Shoot. But to this day, I wholeheartedly believe that, yep, I saw a werewolf, and my friend clipped a werewolf with her car.
This makes me think even more, like, I don't know about werewolf migration patterns and habitats, how far they travel, but this really does make me think, like, the traditional idea of a werewolf, where it's like a person shifting and not just a cryptid, because if it's always like in the same town.
He was walking on the sidewalk.
It's a resident.
He's a local.
Yeah.
He lives in Cranston, Rhode Island.
Holy crap. That's not far from here.
I mean, the coin has spoken.
We're going to Rhode Island.
To see
it would take us
Cranston
90 minutes
werewolf.
to drive there. That's not that much time.
Who's coming with us?
Day trip. Catch us at the next full moon.
Oh my gosh. That is wild.
Wow.
I also love Kristen's friend is so adamant. And for 6 years, she basically has no one believe her.
Yeah.
Except for this guy who's maybe not the most reliable person. That even Kristen's like, okay, this guy's encouraging my friend to believe this delusion.
But didn't he, was she bringing up the story first, or did he
brought it up.
Yeah, so that makes me even...
No, I think she brought it up, and then he was like,
"Oh
wait, was this in Cranston? Because I've seen a werewolf.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But finally, she had Kristen see it with her.
I'm jazzed about this story.
Jazz
This is
fingers.
so cool. Woo!
Yeah.
We're rating this 2 jazz hands. Like, I know that there's not more to the story, but like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? Who is it? I need them to fully investigate. I need them to like join the local newspaper and write articles investigating who the fuck is a local werewolf.
If you live near Cranston, Rhode Island, find out. Because, yeah, I think I agree with you. It's a local. He lives in the neighborhood.
And it's like, unless there's a bunch of things, people, animals going missing or something, or like there's hooligan activity every full moon. I mean, they might just be a chill werewolf, and like, why not find out who it is, elect them as mayor? How cool would that be?
Werewolf mayor of Rhode Island.
Truly Halloween town.
Werewolf for president.
I'd vote for them.
Me too.
I have one request for them as president.
What is it?
Fix our train system.
That's your that's your one request?
Yes.
Mine is like, there she goes again.
Now I'm noticing when I'm doing it. No, I want high-speed trains, because imagine how many places we could go. We could do so many more investigations if we were like, oh, we need to go to
teleportation,
Kentucky. Yeah, but that's high-speed trains are a little bit sooner maybe than teleportation.
I think
it's like, oh, I need to go find some goblins. Catch me on a 3-hour bullet train to Kentucky.
I'd throw up. I threw up from Boston to New York on the speed train.
But maybe would go. Oh, well, that one, the Acela is not that fast.
Exactly. So,
but maybe if it goes faster, you won't even feel it. It's like an airplane.
Yeah,
you're just like strapped to the back of your seat the whole time.
I feel like I'm gonna throw up on planes now. I've gotten to that age. My stomach is not strong. Yeah. But I think I'd want to know about aliens. That would be my one request of werewolf for president.
See, I'm not going to ask about that to presidents, because I still don't believe that the president knows enough about aliens to the degree that
you think it's a secret. Know. Yeah,
I think there's someone else who actually knows more.
President has too much to do.
Don't waste your one wish.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay,
this is a story called "My Creepy Kid in Our Haunted Basement." Woohoo! Hello, ghostesses. My name is Jackie. You can use my name. Other names have been changed. They're not very creative. I want to share about my creepy kid / haunted basement. First of all, I love you girls, and I was instantly hooked when I heard your initial collaboration with the Morbid Ladies. Since then, TGOG has been in constant rotation of things that I listen to while I work as a home baker, keeping me sufficiently creeped out at all times.
What do you bake?
I know. We can taste test things for you.
I happily would do that.
There have been a handful of interesting things that have happened in my house over the last few years, including an incident involving your episode featuring the doll that shall not be named.
Wait, shut up.
PTD.
I'm so mad at myself because I'll bring it next time, but in my findings that I found a doll magazine, and it's from like, I can't remember the year and I don't want to butcher it, but it's all about dolls, and it's still in its original like packaging that it was sent to the like woman who subscribed to this doll magazine. Guess what her name is?
Becky.
Yeah.
Shit. That's cool.
Yeah.
I can't believe no one picked that up.
It's called like the doll reader. But
the doll reader. Huh.
Yeah. PTDR.
I wonder if it's still
Peggy the doll reader.
I'm curious if that magazine still exists. Like, could we subscribe to a new one?
Oh, interesting.
We should make no, never mind.
What?
Too many business ideas.
You want to start a magazine?
Yeah, I do. I suddenly do. Okay. Random toys that have made noises in the middle of the night, and periodic visits from my sweet aunt who passed away in 2016 while I work in my home kitchen. However, this particular story is about the ghost who resides in my basement and creeps my kids out. Corinne, I make bangin' chocolate chip cookies, which you've mentioned your husband, it's his fave. So if you're in the area, hit me up.
What's the area?
This is the person. Yes.
Wait, what?
How interesting that you started talking about how there was the connection of Savannah and the ghost hunting. So this person, Jackie, my mother-in-law, met. I told you about this a few weeks ago, or like a few months ago.
Flea market type of thing?
Yeah, it was like some sort of like flea market down in Bergen County, New Jersey. And my mother-in-law, she always seeks out gluten-free stuff because they are so not a gluten-free household at all. And so since I've joined the family, she's like gone out of her way to find local bakers and people to like have like breads or pancakes or cookies or like something for me because no one else has dietary restrictions in that like 30-person group. So she's at this place and she is asking, I think she got confused about who the vendor that she was at. And she was like, oh, I think you made something for my daughter-in-law. Like I had you make something for my daughter-in-law.
This is her.
Yeah. And so like through their conversation at this tent, Jackie's like, wait, is your daughter Corinne?
Wait, so did she get any of the cookies? Have you tried them? Have you tasted Jackie's cookie?
I think Brian has.
Brian.
I'm pretty sure she might have given chocolate chip cookies for Brian. I can't remember. My brain is so fuzzy. But anyway, this is Jackie. Jackie from the tent. Together. This is Jackie from the tent. From the cookie tent. In May of 2018, my husband and I bought our current home in Bergen County, New Jersey. Our daughter had just turned 1 a few weeks before the move, and we were all elated with the amount of space that we had in this house. We had a huge yard, a very wooded neighborhood, and, well, only 10 days after moving in, our dreams of our little dream house were crushed, literally, by our neighbor's 90-plus-year-old massive oak tree. A spring storm had passed through the area quick and fierce and left quite a trail of destruction in its wake. The tree had fallen across the neighbor's driveway and right through our roof. It managed to take out the entire second floor of the house and heavily damaged most of the first floor. In the extremely rainy days that followed, the majority of what remained succumbed to water damage, including the basement. Holy shit.
I'm
Jackie,
so sorry.
I'm sorry.
Like 10 days after moving in. I'm so glad no one was hurt. It's literally crushing.
Yeah. Overall, we were looking at just over 80% loss of our home and contents.
80%.
Yeah. We had a very long road ahead of us, which included interim housing for close to a year and a full interior renovation. This is a sign to take care of those trees.
Oh my God.
And thankfully, no human family members were home during the accident, and our 2 cats managed to make it out unharmed.
Thank goodness. For 80% of the house to have been damaged and lost.
That's so scary. The previous owner, Bob, had lived in this house for at least 20 years, and his wife had passed away in the master bedroom several years earlier. I truly believe that it was her spirit that had prevented the tree from falling sooner, since she no longer had to protect her family from its wrath. When her son was grown and her husband had moved out, I feel that she had traveled with them.
It's sad, but I kind of like am imagining this ghost literally like holding up a tree for years and years to protect her family.
Right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then like seeing the new family moving in and like waiting for them all to be out to release it.
Right. Like she had to let go of that energy, but she waited.
Especially because it was only 10 days after.
I know.
So it's like,
wow.
There was a long list of things that we wanted to update when we had initially bought the house, but we knew that we would need to do them over time.
Oh, wait. Corinne's recording has stopped.
Oh, shoot.
It says Corinne Van's recording failed. The recording has stopped, but everything up until now has been saved. To continue recording, tell them to stop and restart the studio recording. You guys.
Something's wrong with Jackie's email because we tried recording it one time, audio failed. Then this is the second recording, video failed.
So you're going to notice right now that the episode video is done. You're done looking at our faces.
We can't try a third time.
No.
Jackie.
You cursed us.
You owe us chocolate chip cookies.
We want to taste your cookie.
Yeah.
So the rest of this episode will be audio only. But maybe we'll throw in some visuals, a picture of us or our toes. I don't know. Hey, sorry.
It is what it is. Sometimes we're cursed.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have
Jackie
a paranormal podcast.
But yeah, enjoy the rest of this episode and hopefully you don't get haunted. Okay, love you.
Bye. There was a long list of things we wanted to update when we initially bought the house, but we knew that we would need time to do them. The accident changed all of that though, and essentially we ended up with a brand new home. I guess there's silver linings.
Yeah. No one was really hurt and you end up having to do all of the projects and having a brand new house.
Hopefully your insurance covered all of that.
I know. Yeah.
One of the things that I was most excited about in the rebuild was how we would now have a finished basement that would become the playroom of every kid's dreams. Originally, the basement. Yeah, dun, dun, dun. Send your kids to the basement. Originally, the basement was kind of bland and basement-y, not really an inviting space. And there were these cold fluorescent lights, weird blue carpeting. And there was this huge black built-in bar, envisioned 1970s era, parents-only hangout space, but cheap and in an office building.
Okay.
So we actually really liked the bar area, but with the damage that the water had done and a young daughter/baby on the way, we ended up removing it completely. 10 months after the accident, we moved back in and the basement was loaded up with all of the toys, a huge comfy couch, a big screen TV, and my husband even got a really cool children's play structure with a slide that fit in the bar space perfectly.
That seems like a dream.
How could our daughter resist this playroom? About a week after the second move-in, I took my daughter, who was now almost 2, to the playroom to watch TV and do toddler things. She was jumping excitedly on the couch when she suddenly stopped and looked over my shoulder towards the doorway to the laundry room, and she had this odd, almost disgusted look on her face. She took my face in her hands and pulled me close to her. and I thought she was going to tell me that she had pooped or give me a sloppy kiss. But instead, she whispered, "Mama, let's go upstairs. That creepy guy is looking at me." Honestly, it didn't faze me at first. I figured that she meant that there was something on the TV or a shadow in the laundry room. However, in the days that followed, she started to avoid the playroom.
Also, like the silently whispering to her. It's like, I don't want him to hear.
Right. Yeah. Like, I gotta tell you a secret.
Yeah.
You and me, we have to get somewhere safe. When we did go down there, she would vehemently avoid the side where the laundry room was, and she started referring to it as the creepy guy corner. If she was busy playing and found herself in that area, she would stop what she was doing. She would look down at her feet, and she would slowly move to another area. Finally, after observing this over the course of a week or two, my husband and mother both seeing this as well, I decided to ask her about it. When I asked her, she told me that there was a creepy man in the corner and said he looked like Tafiti, the monster at the end of the movie in Moana, burned up.
Oh, no.
She didn't like the way that he looked, and he was always there. But he didn't seem like a threatening presence. I was definitely creeped out, and I hadn't really lost any sleep over it. But I'm pretty sensitive when it comes to spirit, and whatever it was, wasn't giving off bad juju.
Okay.
Plus, my cat seemed to actually really like the creepy guy corner.
Oh, that's cute.
And often rubbed the wall in question the way that he would with new people that he liked.
Oh, like rubbing his pheromones all over him.
Oh. Flash forward a couple of months, and we're having a house rewarming party. I did not offer up any information of my toddler's basement buddy to any of our friends since we would be hanging out down there after she went to bed. After moving the party downstairs, our friend Tom, who dabbles as a medium and in intuitive work, excused himself and poured a glass of whiskey and then walked into the laundry room and came back out shortly after, sans whiskey, examining the doorway. I came straight out and asked him in front of everyone, "Is it the creepy guy?" And they all got quiet. My husband rolled his eyes.
Well, I mean, when Tom goes into a closet with whiskey and you know he's a psychic and he comes out, you got to find out what Tom's doing.
Yeah, he's looking around, examining everything. Tom responded with a quick, "Yes, but he's not really that creepy. He isn't trying to be."
Oh.
This confirmed immediately my suspicion that there was indeed a presence in my basement. Tom went on to describe a masculine presence with a strong J name and emphasized an enjoyment of whiskey and cigars. Oh, so he went in to give an offering. Oh.
That's so sweet.
Jay preferred the specific corner of the basement because it was, quote, safe, and he could see everything from that spot. Poor guy. Oh no, I feel so bad for him.
I get that. I don't like having, if I'm like in a big space, I like to have.
Right. And especially if something bad happened to him, like
I know.
He's all burned up.
Burnt.
Yeah. He seemed to be giving off this protective, fatherly vibe. And Tom said that the glass of whiskey that he left in the laundry room was essentially an offering to Jay to help him move along. Tom also said that when he was connecting with Jay, he felt like his throat was really tight and he wanted to cough, perhaps because of my daughter's description of his appearance. Maybe he had been in a fire. We are super fortunate that most of our family is close by. It was no surprise that my brother, Joe, was there to help us that weekend that we had initially moved in. Joe has a history of being connected with those who are no longer with us. How incredible that Jackie has so many
psychic mediums around.
Right. Yeah. I mean, even Jackie is, Jackie's kid, everybody.
That's true.
Joe has a history of being connected to those who are no longer with us, and he's an OG creepy kid in my eyes. When he was only 5, Joe's closest friend and his father had tragically lost their lives in a house fire. After their deaths, my brother had many 3 a.m. playdates and birthday parties with his friend in his bedroom. My dad would wake up and find him playing with a bunch of cars on his road carpet, the kind that kids have with roads on it.
I love those carpets.
And a second set of cars for an unseen friend. These experiences would be the catalyst for Joe's decision to become a volunteer firefighter as an adult. The day that he was helping us with the move, Joe found a crawl space upstairs and decided to check it out. Inside, he found a bunch of things that Bob had left behind: books, memorabilia, and most disturbingly, an old fireman's helmet that had been badly burned and melted on one side. The helmet was found tucked away in the exact spot 9 days later that the tree would make its impact on. When the helmet was found, we had contacted Bob about it along with other things, and he oddly knew nothing about this helmet. He really wasn't interested in it or the other stuff that we'd found. How can you not be? You lived there forever.
Well, if it wasn't his.
I know, but like you were living amongst all of these items stashed away in the walls. Like, wouldn't you be so curious?
I would be, but
yeah, I guess
not everyone.
Whatever.
Especially if you've moved and like you just got rid of all your stuff. Like, I don't know.
You're just thinking it's someone else's trash or whatever.
You left it there for a reason.
Yeah. I gave the helmet to my brother since I figured he had the necessary connections to help the helmet get back to its original firehouse. After that, I forgot all about its creepy experience until the night that Tom started talking about the man in the basement. It turned out that my brother had brought the helmet to his firehouse, left it on the bar where it sat untouched for the whole year. When we started to connect the dots, we were able to go back to the helmet and look into its history. And boom, the department that it came from had lost a firefighter on call in the 1970s. His name was James. So the J name. James's helmet and belongings were given to his family, who happened to be from a town that we had moved to. The owner of the house across the street from ours 30 years ago was a firefighter with the name James. So the dots are now connecting. And I can only assume the rest. Yeah. I assumed that it was too hard for the family to want to hold on to the helmet. So the good friend who owned the house before Bob may have held on to it for them.
Oh, interesting.
And maybe it just got lost among the moves. I assume that James and one of the previous owners of this house were good friends and hung out at the bar in the basement.
Aww.
And I assumed that he was a father and firefighter, and he was just looking out for the young family after this freak accident.
That's sweet.
Finally, I know. You may ask why James felt safe in that specific corner of the basement. Well, we had a fire extinguisher wall mounted to the other side of that wall in the laundry room because you can never have enough fire extinguishers. This is like breaking my heart. After Tom's offering of the glass of whiskey, my husband and the current owner of the house across the street also offered up their own glasses of whiskey.
That's so sweet.
My daughter never saw the creepy guy after that, but she's 7 now, and she is still afraid of the laundry room. Best, Jackie.
This is such a beautiful story.
And this is proof that even when you see something scary, it may not be scary at all.
Right. And also Jackie's daughter was like, the creepy man staring at me, but like, it was more of like his physical appearance that was creepy.
Yeah.
She didn't like scream saying like, we need to go.
Right.
It didn't seem, yeah.
Well, and even the cat was very
enthused about James.
Right. Yeah. Trust your pets, especially a cat. Like cats notoriously are hard to warm up to people.
Wait, this makes me sad.
I know.
But I also think it's special, and I'm glad that there are so many people in Jackie's life that could help James and his spirit move on.
Mm-hmm.
All it took was a little whiskey.
Which is so interesting, too, that I get the offering,
mm-hmm.
but I didn't know that the offering and just the acknowledgement via the offering can help a spirit move on. I thought it was just more of like I recognize that you're here and we'll coexist peacefully.
Maybe Tom did some other things too.
Stepping stone. Yeah. I don't know.
So many elements probably in combination with each other helped James move on. You said something while you're reading the story, sending kids to the basement. My parents used to do that.
Send you to the basement?
Yeah. I mean, it was like our playroom, right? Once they finished it, the basement, that's where all of like the kid stuff was, but it was also the most haunted place in our house.
Creepy.
But when they would have parties, they would literally like not lock us, but pretty much in the basement.
Yeah. I feel like that was like a thing though. It was like all the board games and stuff was in the basement, and all of the kids that were of the parents were all sent downstairs to play.
I just had like an image of we were downstairs, like when there was a Christmas party or something upstairs, a business party, and I had drawn something and I brought it upstairs to go show my parents. And I know that this isn't how it happened, but I'm visualizing it as like being pushed back into the basement. Like, yeah, cool. And then like door closed behind me. Like I don't want to see your fucking art. Like go back down to the basement.
Yeah, you don't exist right now. Go back to the basement.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting how our childhood minds can like rewrite things that happen because it feels so scary in the moment.
Right.
It's like how it took me until I was 13 and wrote a essay in school where we had to like write from a memory. And I wrote about the time that my mom left me in the LL Bean outlet and how like the worker had to pick me up, and I like watched my mom like leave the parking lot, and then she turned around and came back, and it was really traumatic, and the woman was like walking me around holding me saying like, is this your mom? Is this your mom? My mom was like, that literally never happened. But I had a nightmare as a young enough as a kid where
you thought it was real.
It still is a true like anxiety provoking memory to me. I'm not positive.
Maybe it happened in another life.
Maybe it did in another timeline.
Or like, another timeline. Yeah.
I could draw to you
like you remember
woman
vividly
who picked me up, and I can also draw the very first woman that she said, "Is this your mom?" And the woman started talking to me as she was like going around the racks and like feeling concerned for me that like I was lost.
See, this also kind of reminds me of my theory that like if you die in one timeline, like you kind of like jump to another one.
Yeah. Well, in that timeline, my mom was kind of neglectful because she asked some random stranger in a truck, this old man, to like watch me and my brother, make sure we didn't leave the car. And then I asked my brother, like, do you dare me to go inside and find mom? And he said yes. And that's when I went in. She didn't realize I left the back of the car. And this is all like a
And you still hold this false memory
I
or
do.
perhaps memory from another timeline against your mother to this day.
I did for a long time.
Deb.
Can't believe it.
Deb in another timeline. How dare you?
I know. She really had a lot of trust in it. And it's like so anti my mom. Like she doesn't trust anyone. She's so stranger danger.
Right.
Which actually maybe is why I had the dream that felt so real, because like she was instilling so much fear in us for stranger danger
was such a big part of our childhood.
I mean, my brother, like my mom got called because in preschool he drew a picture when they said like, what's your biggest fear? And people were like drawing snakes and stuff like that. My brother drew a ladder going up to his childhood bedroom with a man walking up it with
terrifying.
a knife. So you can go too far. What?
I think I've told you this before on the podcast, but so when we moved out of my house in Skillman, New Jersey, I was in college, so I didn't have to help with the move. But my brother was probably like 13 years old. My family was moving out of the house and they found like in the linen closet upstairs on the second floor, they found a knife and a belt. Like,
what the fuck?
On the top. I've definitely told you this, but for years we were like, what the fuck? Like, how did that get there? Who put that there? My mom had asked all of us kids, like none of us owned up to it.
That is so creepy.
This Christmas, we're sitting in the kitchen. Guess who finally owns up to it? My brother.
What the hell, Graham?
And
why
he was
did
embarrassed.
He have those items?
So for years he denied it because he was so embarrassed. But like I was like, I thought a serial killer like planted their kill kit in our house to come back and kill us. But no, my brother was really into like Assassin's Creed. And so he was basically LARPing. He was like being Assassin's Creed. And so he put it in.
He was embarrassed about playing pretend.
Yeah.
Oh,
so he let us believe that a serial killer was prepping to kill us.
Easier.
But he's now 26.
He just now owned up to it.
He just admitted to it.
He was playing Assassin's Creed by himself. Like a real life version of it, pretending.
13 years later.
Wow. Damn.
Isn't that wild?
That is.
Okay.
You thought you had freaking Israel Keys coming for you.
Speaking of creepy kids, my next story is a creepy kid. The subject line is, it tickles. It tickles.
Oh, no.
Hey, ghouls. My name is Savannah, and I have a couple ghost stories for you. The first one, creepy kids. My mom had me when she was 16, so she lived with my dad's parents, my grandparents, after she graduated high school. Well, my dad left for boot camp, and my mom, her sister, my aunt, and I were sleeping in the bed, and my mom says, I pop up, and I go, Michael is here. And then I fall back asleep. I freaked my mom out, obviously, and freaked my aunt out as well, big time. Like 8 or 9 years later, my little brother, my mom and I are watching TV, and an ad comes on talking about, Michael's down here, so you should be too, or something like that. My little brother looks at my mom and me and goes, no, Michael's not here. He's at Nana's and Papa's.
What?
My mom loses her shit. 3 to 4 years later, my youngest brother is playing outside at my grandparents' house and goes to my papa and says, Papa, Michael says hi and that he loves us. This was before my littlest brother got glasses because he was 3-ish and he used to feel everyone's face. And he told us that Michael's face felt like Papa's.
What?
My papa had a younger brother named Michael that died when he was really, really young.
Oh, I have chills.
So yeah, super sweet, but creepy AF. All of us kids had seen Michael. But I love Michael still with him.
Good energy, good spirit.
Could you imagine though, you're like child sleeping between you and your sister, popping up, Michael is here.
Michael's here.
And then falling back to sleep.
I also like Michael seems so present too that I'd be so tempted to, dabble in some communication to try to contact Michael.
Right.
Because clearly like he's trying to communicate with them and let them know that he's present.
I also wonder if, this is a question about the paranormal in general, but like, is Michael still a child? And so is Michael playing with the kids? Or has Michael grown up?
Yeah.
As a spirit? I don't know.
It's interesting too that his face feels like age-wise, you would think.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. So maybe he has aged.
Yeah.
I'm also curious at what point they put it all together. Was it right away?
Probably right when it was like Michael's at.
Yeah.
Right. Because like even in my house, if Noah was like, Bob is here, I'd be like, oh my God, it's my dad's dad.
Yeah. Okay. So second story. Meow. That's what it's called.
Meow.
Wait, actually, when I FaceTime Noemi, now first thing she says is meow because she wants to see Leia. I'm like, what about me? My mom said she had a cat that she loved that sadly got ran over and died.
Oh.
She said that for 2 years after the cat died, she could feel it still jump on the bed and curl up with her.
Oh.
Okay, number 3 and last story. It tickles. We were stationed in North Carolina while my dad was in the military, and my mom's mother got really sick and was in the hospital in Texas. My mom put me to sleep one night and said at about 11, I woke up giggling and laughing, saying, it tickles, stop tickling my feet. My mom said that it went on for about 30 minutes and she couldn't calm me down from laughing so hard. The next morning, my step Greg, is what I called him, the guy my grandmother remarried, called my mom to tell her that my grandmother, her mom, had passed away at around 10:30ish. So my mom believes that she came to visit me in the night.
Oh my God. Wow.
Because she passed away at 10:30 and Savannah woke up at 11 saying it tickles. It tickles. Also, I'm sorry, Grandma, but stop tickling me for 30 minutes.
Yeah. Also, like, yeah.
30 minutes?
Was that something Grandma used to do?
I don't know.
I don't like tickling.
No, 30 minutes of tickling seems like torture.
That's a lot of tickling.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for reading. If you do, I'll lose my mind. I really love you guys, and you remind me of me and my best friend. I also have a really cool story about when my papa was a cowboy and lived in a ranch house with a ghost cowboy. Oh my God, we want to hear that. Savannah from Chesapeake.
Dang. I feel like there's a lot of like kind family members visiting in spirit form. And also just a lot of, I mean, I guess like kids are way more prone to being open and experiencing things. But I feel like it's not always a shoo-in. And I feel like every family member as a child in this family so clearly could communicate with the spirits.
Yeah. Savannah, can you still see dead people?
I know. Strong ancestral
powers. Yes. The paranormal is within you.
The force be with you.
The force is with you.
Okay. I have an email called Prophetic Dream ?
Ooh.
Hi, besties. I just keep thinking of random encounters to tell you. This is a short one about a prophetic dream that I had a few years ago.
The force is with our listener, Casey.
Yes.
The paranormal force.
I know we've got a lot of like intuitive, like psychic people.
Yeah. And werewolves.
And werewolves. Or just a lot of people who like experience ghost activity. What else was our emails? Sorry. Obviously, everyone's going to be able to experience the paranormal here.
Just want to let you know a little bit about our podcast, Corinne. It's called Two Girls, One Ghost, and we talk about the paranormal.
I can't believe how many paranormal experiences these people have had.
It's so crazy.
Think about how weird that is. That every email we have, someone experiences something paranormal.
Shocking.
I know. Well, clearly what's shocking is my brain. Hi, besties. Okay.
Hey.
My best friend from childhood currently lives in Virginia with her pre-fiance. Gonna get married. Not sure when.
Pre-fiance. I like that. It's gonna happen. We just don't know.
Yeah. About 3 years ago, a friend of her pre-fiance announced that he and his girlfriend were pregnant. I've never met these friends. Still to this day, I've never met them, but had heard of the announcement, and I was super excited on behalf of my BFF getting to meet a baby.
A real life baby.
A real life baby. One night, I had a dream that my best friend's boyfriend had proposed, and this was when he was a pre-fiance, LOL. And she had invited me and a bunch of friends on a cross-country road trip to celebrate. In the dream, we're all sat around a cocktail table in the train station. A few friends and I are asking to see my bestie's ring, but she wanted to show us something else instead. She pulled out a giant atlas. I was so confused. She said that her fiance had promised that they would travel the world together, and that was what the atlas represented. When I woke up, I told her about my bizarre dream, and we just laughed. That night, her pre-fiance's friend went into labor with the birth of her child, despite her due date being a month later. They had names prepared depending on the sex of the baby, but they had kept all of them completely secret from friends and family.
Is the name Atlas?
The next day, they announced the name of their baby. And drum roll, Atlas. My best friend immediately called me, absolutely spooked and convinced that I was a witch. I haven't had any other dreams about Atlas, his parents, or even his new baby sister since, but that was a weird one for sure.
It's also wild because it's in the train station, which is, we've always like heard stories in the train station. It feels like very spirits traveling.
Coming and going, like traveling
like the
between
spirit
afterlife.
Atlas literally was coming into this world.
Yes. How creepy. See you on the other side with appreciation, Casey.
Casey, you are a witch. It's also random how it's like not even someone she's ever met.
Yes.
Like why?
Just a peripheral person.
Connection. Yeah. I wonder if Casey's friend has ever told Atlas's parents this.
I know. Because that would be I think to a certain person, it might be a little weird to hear that someone completely random is getting messages and like
about your baby
that you've never met. But like to me, I'd be like, that is so freaking cool.
I'm sure because like Casey's friend is the person who's friends with both, right?
Yeah.
Casey and Atlas's parents. So like, I'm sure Atlas's parents have probably heard about Casey.
Yeah.
Why is Casey connected to Atlas? That's
Or
also a
maybe
cool name.
Casey can just see, like, just has a connection and maybe like unknowingly spend some time in dreamland in the astral world and just happened to be tapped in when Atlas was coming down.
That's true. Maybe. Casey, I feel like you can tap into some type of magic here.
Yeah.
Let's do some work. We also, 2025 is the year of the witch. Like we are fully, I mean, I've kind of been embracing it, but like we're fully embracing our witchy, intuitive sides. We're going to be doing more paranormal live streams, not at Corinne's house because you've made that clear.
No.
I'll bring the clown back with me because I know that
also, I feel like the office, like we can do certain things in this room, but outside of that, no.
So do you want to do ghost tube and pendulum of my findings in the office?
Yeah, we can do that because if there's anything, I think they're attached to the items. So
that's true.
And those are going home with you.
And I'll take them home with me.
Yeah. But like an opening and summoning of something.
No go. That's fair.
Yeah.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Respect it. And we respect all of your paranormal encounters and we want to hear more of them.
Yes, please email them.
This is a podcast about the paranormal.
Surprise. To my delight, today was about ghosts. You can email us your stories at 2girls1ghostpodcast@gmail.com. You can rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts. That really helps. And another thing that helps is joining the pyramid scheme, being a part of our cult. And that means telling people about our podcast. Word of mouth is huge.
Tell everyone. Real quick, I want to show this piece of art that one of our listeners sent us. This is by our listener, Melissa.
It's incredible.
It's so incredible. It reminded me because you were like, today was a surprise. It's about ghosts. Well, sometimes it's about
goats.
Look at that. It's so cool.
Everyone is so talented.
See you on the other side. It's 2 girls, 1 goat.
And it's a ghost goat. See how it's see-through?
It is
a spectral goat. Love the detail.
Thank you, Melissa.
And I'm just now realizing that my toes have been photographed. We have a feet pic of me on the internet.
Oh.
Dang.
And actually, in our photo shoot that we did for the holiday card.
Are my toes showing?
No, there's not in the holiday card, but in that photo shoot, which we're so excited to show you the photos. I want to like post them all right now, but the one of us in the hallway, my feet are so visible.
Oh, are they?
Like so visible that I'm like, I
don't
know.
I need to relook because I didn't notice it when I was looking through the photos.
Because I have a slit on one side of my dress, and so my toes are just like out and about, giving a shout. I don't know. They're just like, hey.
Follow us on social media if you want to see
our toes.
In the meantime, shout out to Jamie who edits our episodes. Jamie Ryan, we love you, and we are forever grateful for you.
We're indebted to you eternally. And thank you to all of you for listening. We love you all so very much. And I need to go get a Diet Coke.
And we will see you on the other side.
Very spooky.